I know this might sound kind of cheesy, but this is what I believe to make the world a better place, right? It happens one person at a time. When we can actually do some of this work for ourselves, it has a ripple effect on everyone around us, right? If you're a practitioner and I'm sure you've seen this, when you can help another person heal emotionally, now their relationship with their spouse is improved, with their children, it's improved, with their colleagues, it's improved, their finances, their health, all of the things, right? It's a very, very powerful and very important service to others. In today's video, we're going to be talking about who this nervous system healing based technique is for and who it isn't for. So, for those of you who are new, my name is Lori. I am a licensed clinical counselor with over 25 years experience in mental health and holistic wellness. And I'm also the developer and the creator of the Feel Better Fast technique. And we're going to be discussing that specifically in today's video. And this is a technique that has helped thousands of people be set free in a very safe, effective, and gentle manner by working with the nervous system to create lasting transformation. And so we're going to dive a little bit deeper in today's video about who this technique is for and who it isn't for. So first of all, not every approach is right for every person or every moment. So clarity here actually matters. And we're going to actually get into some specifics to help you clarify if this is a right fit for you. So here's a quick recap on the previous video that I posted about why gentle healing works faster than force. The first takeaway is that force signals danger to your nervous system. We're forcing ourselves through something. It actually sends an unconscious message to the nervous system that, hey, there's danger ahead. And it actually is very counterproductive. Secondly, gentleness is accuracy. Gentleness is not ineffectiveness. Gentleness is accuracy. The third thing, many people are tired of trying to heal. We talked about the hustle culture and how that has been really driving us into the ground in a not so healthy manner. And we are tired of that. Fourthly, you don't have to push to heal. You don't have to push. You don't have to force. You don't have to go hard or go home in order to heal. So why does discernment matter here in terms of the right timing and the right tool? So there are so many different healing approaches that are interchangeable or that aren't interchangeable. And there's actually, a lot of healing techniques too that have overlap. There are some techniques that are in some way, shape, or form kind of sort of like this method. And this one's kind of sort of like this method. And this one's kind of sort of like this method, right? And I think that one of the beautiful things about having a variety of different healing approaches is that we are not individually a one size fits all type of, we are very individualistic. And the things that you need right now, the things that I need right now, may be different 5 years from now, maybe even 5 days from now, right? And so there are a lot of really wonderful things out there. And part of the discernment here is finding out what is the technique or the modality or the healing kind of environment that I need right now to support my healing in the stage that I'm in my healing journey. So a mismatch can create frustration or self-blame. Have you ever been to a doctor or a practitioner and maybe you've heard about, maybe your friend told you about this amazing method and you tried it and you're like, it just didn't really work for me. And you're left with feeling either frustrated or you're feeling like, what's wrong with me? Why didn't it work for me? Something like that. So I really invite you to have some self-compassion when it comes to healing. So anyway, a mismatch can create that sense of frustration. Like it's just not it's not the tool that you needed right now. So discernment is part of that. So what this approach, more specifically the Feel Better Fast technique, what it tends to help people with is those who have done insight-based work, but you still feel activated. The people that most often tend to gravitate towards this method is people that have a growth mindset. They've done some healing work in the past, maybe a significant amount of healing, and they have this concept that I'm going to take control of my life. I might not be in control of everything in my life, but I'm going to do what I can to take charge of my life. It's stepping into your power, and it's the opposite of playing the victim, right? It's having that sense of growth mindset that I'm here to better myself, and a lot of things that may have happened to me may not have been my fault, but I'm not going to stay a victim to that. So you've done some insight work, but you still feel activated. Perhaps you notice your body reacting, even though your mind understands why it's happening. So your mind can conceptualize, oh, this is why I'm getting triggered. Oh, this is why this person is triggering me. Or, oh, this is why I'm feeling triggered by this person and what they're doing, what they're saying. Your mind can understand it, but your body is like, well, but I'm still reacting. And you're like, oh man, why am I still reacting even though I understand why, what's causing this? Isn't that enough? It's usually not. We have to actually support our bodies and our nervous system. Perhaps you're tired of pushing through, that push through type of healing. We talked about this in the last video about that sense of, we really need to, it needs to be intense. We need to just power through, right? Perhaps you're tired of that. You're like, I have done that, tried that, been there, done that, and I'm not about that anymore. I really want something that is more gentle and more nurturing. And perhaps you want change without emotional flooding. Now, sometimes emotional flooding can happen unexpectedly. There are a lot of different things that we can safeguard or we can begin to utilize and introduce to our nervous system to decrease that possibility. But knowing that emotional flooding is not a necessity for your emotional healing. So the Feel Better Fast technique can definitely be a really helpful modality to add to your toolbox. So this is also for practitioners who often they look to this method when they have clients who are making progress, but they keep on looping. So they like one step forward, two steps back, or maybe two steps forward, one step back. You notice that your clients are making some positive gains and then they fall back into self-sabotage or they fall back into these subconscious loops or emotional triggers. This technique can be really, really helpful for you in helping your clients to break out of that once and for all. Also, for the fact that insight doesn't translate into lasting change. So maybe you've worked with clients and they're very insightful. They are very self-aware, and yet the lasting change and the resolution hasn't come. This is really great for that as well. Regulation matters more than catharsis. So you are on board with the fact that a nervous system that's regulated is a nervous system that is safe, is a nervous system that will actually promote deep emotional healing. And perhaps you want results for clients without re-traumatizing them, retelling that same painful story over and over again. This approach, the Feel Better Fast technique, may not be a right fit for you if you want fast change without nervous system safety. Now, I know that's kind of a far stretch. Most people are not going to say, "Oh yeah, I definitely don't want nervous system safety," right? But if you're not really on board with nervous system type of work, then this might not be the best modality for you. Perhaps, if someone prefers more of that intense emotional release as the main mechanism, this is not the best modality for you, at least not at this time, right? Maybe you are in a state of, really wanting that intense emotional, cathartic, kind of fireworks type of emotional release. This is not going to be for you, at least not right now. If you're not open to body-based or subconscious work, and I'm actually noticing that there's more and more openness to this because even if initially, maybe let's say, for example, you're a practitioner who has heard about this, but you're like, maybe sometime I'll talk, maybe sometime I'll read a little bit more about that, or I'm not really into that, right? Show me the science kind of thing, right? There's actually so much more research that has come down the pipeline, solid research that has shown significant positive gains in the body-based systems and doing subconscious work. And so if that's kind of how your brain works, if your brain tends to be more intellectual and more research based, what I'm finding, what I'm seeing, what I'm observing, and I'm curious if you're noticing this as well, is that more and more intellectuals are coming on board with body-based types of subconscious work because it is backed by research. Anyway, all that to say, if you're not really open to that, this is probably not a good match for you. If anybody, if you, let's say, for example, you're seeking a modality for yourself or the clients that you serve, if you have clients that need stabilization right now, they're in acute crisis, perhaps there's hospitalization involved or inpatient treatment or something like that, this may not be the best suitable method, definitely not your first line of treatment. It can be helpful in being a modality that is done in conjunction with the stabilizing treatments first. But it's generally not the best suited for those who are in acute crisis and they just need stabilization first. This is not a crisis type of intervention. What this approach, the Feel Better Fast technique, is not, it's not forceful. We don't use it to bypass anything. We don't think, it's not a think positive type of intervention where we just think our way out of it or we affirm our way out of it. And it's not endless processing either. This actually is a method that takes as little as just a few minutes for each emotional stress pattern. It's very powerful. What it's designed for, it's designed to work with safety instead of against protection. So again, working with the nervous system and the body, addressing subconscious emotional patterns, because that's where those emotional patterns are. They're residing in the subconscious. So I've used the illustration of the iceberg. If you just can imagine the iceberg, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out when you get a chance. But just for now, think about the visual of an iceberg. Above the water is the tip of the iceberg, right? That's what we can see. That's representative of our conscious thinking brain, what we can conceptualize, what we can figure out. We can create some solutions and we can make some progress there. But below the surface, where the vast majority of the iceberg is, that's representative of the subconscious and our emotional patterns. So the subconscious, or the Feel Better Fast technique is really great at getting below the surface. The things that you may not even know are driving how you're feeling and how you're behaving and how you're showing up. The Feel Better Fast technique is excellent at getting below the surface and bringing those things to the surface to release them so you're not feeling stuck. It creates lasting resolution, not just insight. It's very insightful, though. I will say it's very insightful. There are times where I will actually be utilizing the Feel Better Fast technique with a client, whether in person or virtually, and within a matter of like a minute or so, suddenly they start having these aha moments, like these light bulbs start going off in their brain and they start making connections. It is so amazing to witness. Light bulbs start going off and these connections are being made and they start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. It's almost like their brain just presents to them, hey, this is what's connecting this and this and this. And things just start to make sense to them. And they start to have a lot more insight that maybe they hadn't had before during the utilization of the Feel Better Fast technique. So anyway, it can be very insightful, but it doesn't just focus on insight. It actually focuses on resolution as well. So it also helps you to feel calm. It's precise and it's very efficient. So the core principle of the Feel Better Fast technique, so the foundation behind it is that it's created to work at those deeper layers. It's created to work below the surface, not just what you think is happening, not just what, again, I'm going to use that iceberg model again. Above the surface is what you know, what you're aware of. Below the surface is what you may not be aware of. A lot of it you're not aware of. The Feel Better Fast technique is really excellent at working at those deeper layers and not just bringing insight to those deeper layers, but bringing resolution and actual healing, emotional healing to those deeper layers. And it's designed for people and practitioners who resonate with these principles. So if you're already aligned with these things, this could be a really excellent tool to add to your toolbox. It's built on gentleness, regulation, and subconscious resolution. So you don't have to force anything to fit. Trust your system's response. Clarity is a form of care. The right approach is going to feel settling, not pressuring. So, just to recap, not every approach is right for every person, for every moment. The right timing matters as much as the right tool. Clients don't resist healing generally. Most often, they don't resist healing. They default to safety. Our bodies want to feel safe, and if they begin to feel safe, then they start to resolve those emotional wounds. And now, not now, doesn't mean not ever, right? So if it's not a good fit for you now, it doesn't mean that it won't be in the future. And this healing technique may be a good fit for you if you appreciate a gentle and effective approach that allows the nervous system to release the stored emotions. And you seek an approach that integrates well with other tools. Now, this is not just for licensed practitioners. This is for non-licensed practitioners as well. You might be a business coach. You might be a health coach, a wellness coach, any kind, maybe you're a yoga instructor. Maybe you are a licensed clinical counselor and you're actually you do want to go deeper with things. So this technique is designed for anyone who has a heart to help people in a gentle way to bring emotional freedom to them. And those are all we all wear different hats, and every single one of us plays a specific role, right? So even if let's say for example, you are a doctor, whether it's a chiropractor, acupuncturist, a naturopath, an osteopath, a medical doctor, pediatrician, you're working in the medical field, nurse practitioner, whatever that might be. When you're working with primarily the body, if you have a mind-body approach to healing and you can already see and you're already on board with the research behind how psychosomatic symptomology can actually manifest physically, and if we can actually work with healing the emotions, physical emotions start to heal oftentimes as a result. I'll give you more and more examples as time goes by because I have a lot of them to share. But this could be a really great fit for you too, even if you are primarily, like the hat that you wear is primarily physical healing, because we know that emotional healing can actually be related to physical symptomology as well. So, and also here's a tool that I'm sharing with you, a complementary tool that can help you to release the intensity of difficult emotions. This is really great for calming your body and your mind. So it's very supportive for your nervous system. It's called the Pulse Points Stress Tool. It's a gentle nervous system tool. It's available below. You can click on the link below and get access to that tool. You can use it for yourself. It just takes maybe, I would say, 2 to 4 minutes or so. And it's basically great for anything that's causing you any kind of emotional stress. It is excellent for that. You can use it on yourself, or you can actually also teach it to your clients or those that you serve, those that you help in any kind of capacity. You can also teach it to children. I've actually taught this to hundreds of children of all ages, and even in elementary schools. I've actually gone into classrooms, I've taught them this tool, and it has been such a great regulation tool. And then they're so sweet. They go home and they teach their parents, and it's just the sweetest thing. Anyway, this has been a really, really helpful tool for so many people. So if you want access to that, free access to that, click on the link below and you can get that tool and help you to feel better. So next, what I'm going to be touching on in the next upcoming videos is, what does this work actually look like in practice? What does it look like? What does it look like to experience this gentle approach and actually experience lasting freedom? How can you have gentle and effective? What does that look like? So I'm going to be sharing a lot more on that topic and what it actually looks like. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions or comments, as always, please leave those in the comments below. And I'm happy to answer them if I can, and possibly even create videos to answer your questions. So this is really for you who are on your own healing journey, and or you are a practitioner of mind, body, any kind of practitioner that holds space for helping others to heal and be set free. This is for you. This is all to empower you so that we can, I know this might sound kind of cheesy, but this is what I believe, to make the world a better place, right? It happens one person at a time. When we can actually do some of this work for ourselves, it has a ripple effect on everyone around us, right? If you're a practitioner and I'm sure you've seen this, when you can help another person heal emotionally, now their relationship with their spouse is improved, with their children, it's improved, with their colleagues, it's improved, their finances, their health, all of the things, right? It's a very, very powerful and very important service to others. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day.